When I leave,
Amen.
it is an humbling and a special feeling to be in a room filled with strong faith warriors and strong people of God. This is a rarity because, and I think you all know what I mean when I say this. We all belong to churches. The church ain't getting everybody. So when you're in a room with this kind of faith, it touches you. And when you said, I need you to speak, and I said, that's not what I came. But it's teaching me to be obedient and to be ready. Because you don't know what God has for you to do, but you gotta be ready. Because if you're not, it could be the difference in bringing somebody to Christ or turning somebody away. So with that being said, I'm gonna give you a real quick thank you so much, because I was not expecting this. Ooh, Jesus. So real quick, I'm trying to keep up 2 minutes. Like everybody else during COVID, I got really depressed. Really depressed. In the beginning, I was so happy. We were going to church online. We were going to Bible study online. I had the whole family, everybody in the house. Couldn't go nowhere. We all worshiping, praising God together. We were sharing meals. We were doing things that was getting away from the family. But over time, things started dwindling down, and I found that I was getting up fixing breakfast, and nobody was coming downstairs with me. Right? And then when they were coming downstairs, they were coming late for service, and I'm like, how are you late for service and we ain't going nowhere? We in the house. Like, how are you late for service? And I was getting more and more frustrated. And I felt I was losing my grip. I was losing my hold with God. So fast forward, I needed something. And I was asking God, please, because I don't want you to let go of me. I need something. Because the online church wasn't doing it no more. Nobody expected us to go from 2 weeks to 2 years. It was hard. So I'm a planner girl, and I found faith planners. But what I found was that they weren't faithful. They were scheduling. Listen, Bible study here, church there. Do this, do that. But it wasn't giving me what I needed spiritually. And I'll be full transparency. I'm not the girl that can sit down with a cup of tea and open the Bible and read every period of time, because I get distracted, I get bored. That's the truth. But I knew I needed to get in the Word, because I wasn't getting it from anywhere. Not even my church, because even I was losing interest with online. So I decided to create my own faith plan. And I was trying to do research, and I was Googling, how do I do this? And Google wasn't taking me to where I wanted to go. It kept taking me to the war room. And I was like, I don't want this. And there was a movie that came out years ago. I was like, I don't want this. And then one day I just, you know what? Let me just look at this movie. In a nutshell, I created a war binder. And when people say, well, what's a war binder? I say, have you ever heard of the movie The War Room? And when they say yes, I say it's a portable war room. Because in my house, I had so many people during COVID. We had about 8 or 9 of us. Grands, in-laws, everybody. And there was no corner in my house where I could dedicate to creating a war room. Because this is what happens. We see movies. I saw the war room. And I was gung-ho. Hey, you need to fix a war room for me. I need a prayer closet. I said, hey, where are they going with the prayer closet? We have a place for nobody. Nothing else in this house. So I carved out a little space in my bedroom, which is I call it my war corner. And I built the war binder based on what I needed specifically. Because if you go to the stores, you buy planners. The planners are very inexpensive. But the stuff you need to feed your soul don't come with the planner. They're called accessories, and by the time you buy all those accessories, you're up to $200, $250. And I don't have that kind of money to spend on something I'm not going to use. So I needed to create something I was going to use. That was in 2022. We came right out of COVID. My daughter, who's a vendor, convinced me, come in with me. I said, I don't have anything to sell. She said, Mom, you got a house full of stuff to sell. I said, no, I don't have anything to sell. She said, well, take them books. That's what she said, take them books. So I took the war binders with me to the couple, and we're outside the church on the sidewalk, and people were curious as to what they were. I'm out there holding service, explaining these books, and all of a sudden people start buying. So in 2022, April of 2022, I said to my pastor, you got everybody in this church buying these books. Can I please have a week to explain what they are? So he gets up in service and he says, oh, Sister Sharon, she just created a war binder and she's going to be teaching the class for the next 2 months. And I was like, I said 1 week. 1 week. And he mistakenly said the next 2 months. Here it is, April of 2025. I'm still teaching that class. And I'm purposeful about everything, including what's in those binders. I told him I needed Wednesday nights and I needed 6 o'clock, right before Bible study. Because when we leave that class, that's an incentive for everybody to go to Bible study. Because that's what we were missing during COVID. Like, we needed the fellowship, we needed a hands-on teacher, and we needed a validation and reinforcement to what we were doing in the war binding class. And that's it in a nutshell. And I have a sample, and I have clients all the way in Atlanta and Baltimore.